So, what if I told you that a single airline, in just a little over a decade, went from being a total newcomer to completely dominating the skies in one of the world's fastest-growing markets? Well, that's the story of IndiGo, and we're going to break down exactly how they did it.
To really get a sense of their scale, just look at this number. We're talking over 1,000 flights every single day. That's not just big, that's a mind-boggling volume that really puts them in a league of their own.
And yeah, all those flights add up. They've totally cemented their position. When you look at market share, the size of their fleet, or just their sheer presence in the sky, there's no debate. They are India's undisputed #1 airline. So you gotta ask, right? How on earth did a startup from 2006 get this big, this fast? What was their secret sauce?
Well, it turns out it's not some big mystery. It's actually a very, very deliberate formula. Let's get into the core strategy that shot IndiGo straight to the top. Their entire game plan really rests on these three powerful pillars. It all starts with extreme efficiency. That then feeds into what they call radical simplicity in their service. And all of that builds up to their ultimate brand promise, total reliability. Let's take a look at each one.
All right, first up, efficiency. Now this is where things get really clever. Their genius move was to use only one type of plane, the Airbus A320 family. Think about it. That means maintenance, spare parts, pilot training, it's all standardized, which, you guessed it, saves a ton of money. You pair that with a lightning-fast 20 to 30-minute turnaround time on the ground, and you can just run more flights with fewer planes. It's an absolute profit-making machine.
Next up is simplicity. See, IndiGo never tried to be some fancy luxury airline. Nope. Instead, they focused on getting the basics absolutely perfect. We're talking clean cabins, a crew that's always polite, and a boarding process that's just smooth and no fuss. And the brilliant part of this was that it set a really clear and consistent expectation for passengers. You knew what you were getting, a professional, hassle-free journey every single time.
And this brings us to the real kicker, the most crucial point, reliability. This wasn't just a goal for them, it became their core identity, on time, every time. In a market where, let's be honest, delays were pretty common, this simple guarantee built an incredible amount of trust and loyalty. If you absolutely, positively had to be somewhere on time, you flew IndiGo.
And this right here perfectly sums it all up. You can see how those three pillars all served one crystal clear vision from the founders. Make flying affordable, reliable, and stress-free. Every single decision they made, from the planes they bought to the service on board, was relentlessly focused on delivering that promise.
But you know, having a great business model is one thing. To make it in the world of aviation, especially in a place like India, that's only half the story. You also have to become a master of navigating this incredibly complex web of government regulations. Every airline in India has to operate under a super strict set of rules. We're talking about everything, from intense safety checks mandated by the main regulatory body, the DGCA, to government rules on fares, all the way down to who gets the best landing and takeoff slots at the busiest airports. It's a lot. So, why does all this matter? Because mastering these regulations is the key to survival and to growth. IndiGo's success wasn't just because they were efficient, it was also because they were incredibly good at navigating this complex regulatory world. And that's what's allowed them to keep a strong safety record and expand their routes, both at home and internationally. Which brings us to today. Because after years and years of disciplined growth and near-flawless execution, a new and honestly pretty unexpected chapter has just opened up in the IndiGo story.
Because just recently, the airline canceled nearly 2,000 flights. For a company that is literally built on the promise of reliability, a number like this, well, it's a huge shock to the system. And it's raising some pretty serious questions.
So we're left with this huge hanging question. Is this just a temporary hiccup, a little bump in the road for a massive airline? Or could these widespread cancellations be a sign of something deeper going on? After years of getting it right, the undisputed king of Indian skies is now facing a new kind of turbulence, leaving all of us wondering what comes next.